What is going on? Welcome to Foothills Firearm Factory. I'm your host. My name's Drew, and the first thing I always do is give thanks to God for letting me be here today. So, man, what a tragedy. I'm sure everybody's still trying to deal with the loss of Charlie Kirk. Is a real tragedy, terrible thing. My heart goes out to him and his family. I wanted to, since I have the means, I own the gun store and I've got the means to go over a few things, to give you some information, to show you some things that are possibilities, I'm going to do it. But in no way whatsoever do I want to try to look. I don't make any money off videos anyway. I don't have enough followers, but in no way am I trying to get views or anything because of what happened to Charlie. I just want to give people some information because I have it available to me. If you're not saved by the grace of God, if you've never asked Jesus to come into your heart and to save you and to forgive you your sins, I urge you to do that. Charlie was a man of God. He was a man that loved God, who told people all the time about his faith. And I have no doubt in my mind that he's in heaven right now. And like I said, my heart goes out to his family. I pray for him many times a day ever since that happened. But thank the Lord that he was a man of God. Jesus come to this earth and died for our sins, and he'll forgive you for any sin. And as bad as it may pain you to think about it, he'll forgive that guy who shot Charlie if he asked him. That's how forgiven he is. And don't let your family have to worry if something happens to you, whether or not you're up there in heaven with Charlie. Go ahead and take care of it. It's the easiest thing you'll ever do. And, God will definitely change your life on this earth and your eternity. But anyway, I want to go over this information with you. I want to show you, was it possible? Was it possible for him to smuggle that rifle up on the roof? Was it, what about the shot that he took? What's the ballistics on a 30-06? And if Charlie was wearing body armor, what kind of body armor was it? And were mistakes made? Yeah, there were definitely mistakes made. But anyway, I want to go over some of that information with you, give you a little info on everything, give you some things to think about. And I promise you, I will put out a gun video this week too. But I just wanted to get this out of the way and tell you my opinions on whether or not everything that the feds and the internet is saying is true. Because I'm sure y'all wondered just like I did. So I did a little bit of trying things out myself. So let me show you what I found out. Let me show y'all something. You know, I started to take this thing apart. I started to take this thing apart and carry it in two pieces. Because you can take this gun here and you could put one screw in it and replace that one screw and it'll stay together. You'd probably be better off to put this screw in there and you could just put the one screw in and it'd hold that gun together good enough to take a shot. You could even put both screws in it pretty quick. It's just two Allen screws. That's all it is. Holds this gun together. This is a Remington 700. This isn't a Mauser, but same principle. Same, probably about the same barrel length, same size, around the same size scope and all that. He may have took it apart or he may have left the thing put together, because once I started taking this thing apart and I was like, okay, well, I'll put, because I noticed in the video that this pocket right here was protruding when he was walking, that this leg right here, you can see there's a big bulge right here. It looks like his cell phone, but there's probably something behind it to make it stick out like it did. Now, he may have took it apart in two pieces and put this piece down the front and maybe had the butt, had this piece like this and this piece underneath his shirt and his armpit, and then took the barrel off and with the scope and put it behind his back and then wore the backpack over top of it, so he had more room to move his leg than what I did. But also it's a really skinny guy. I mean, and I didn't do anything. All I done was took this gun and stuck it down the back of my shirt. You could have, I could have strapped it down to my leg to where it wouldn't have been flopping like it was. I mean, I'm sure he took more precautions than what I just did, but it's very possible. And I'm not saying everything that's coming out is true, but I'm just saying it is very possible for somebody to take a gun like this and stick it down the back of their pants without taking it apart. He could have took it out, fired one shot, stuck it back down the back of his pants and run off. Now, which it did look like in the video that he wasn't limping like he was walking to the college. He wasn't limping like he was before. And yeah, I know it's missing the trigger guard because it had a thumb hole stock on it, and the trigger guard's still on it. But I mean, it's very possible, very possible. And you know, people want to say, oh, that was an impossible shot. That was a shot, you know, only a sniper could have made that shot. A 200-yard shot with a 30-06 with any decent scope whatsoever is not an impossible shot. I know people who shoot 22s that far. They shoot 22 long rifles that far, which they have a lot of money in their scopes and ammo and all that stuff, but they do it. If they could do it with a 22, they could do it with a 30-06. So let's look at how much drop is in a 30-06 at 200 yards. Let me give you a closer look at that gun. Which, like I said, it's a Remington 700. So as you can see, there's just two screws that holds this stock on, and I only have one in it right now. There's one right here, and then there's one right here. And most people who are hunters or who deal with, you know, these style rifles at all, they know that. There's just two screws that holds this stock on. you could put one screw in it, this one screw right here, and you know, it would fire. I mean, it may not be the most accurate if you bore, you know, if you put any weight or anything on it whatsoever, but I don't know, I'd have to test that theory. But you know, could have easily took it apart, put both screws back in it before using it, or he likely did exactly like I just did. He probably had the whole thing down the back of his shirt, back of his pants. He probably had something another to maybe had a strap across his chest, and he would have had more. This guy would have had more preparation than what I just did. I just got the idea. It took me 2 minutes to stick it down the back of my pants, and I could have walked like that very slowly, but I could have done it. And you know, this guy, to have that old Mauser gun, that's not a gun you see every day, one like that. Those Mausers, I remember even selling them just a few years ago. The Mauser came out with a new line of guns. I don't think it lasted long, but I mean, you know, he could have had this gun for years. He could have deer hunted with this gun for years. I've seen all kinds of stuff on Facebook where he was shooting guns. It looks like he's been raised around guns. He may have, I don't know if that footage of him walking was before or after, but either way, you could stick that gun down the back of your shirt and down your pants leg, and you could walk with it. Wouldn't be comfortable, but you could do it. But let's look at the drop on a 30-06 at 200 yards. And of course, I just so happen to have some 30-06 here. So it says at 200 yards, what does that say that the drop is on a 30-06? 0. That means that 200 yards, you should be able to put your crosshairs on something and it hit exactly what you're aiming at. And you don't have to adjust the scope for windage or none of that stuff. I mean, or whatever elevation, because it's not going to have any drop at 200 yards. And this guy knew he was coming. They said he talked about it in Thanksgiving. That's a year ago. Thanksgiving was a year ago. So almost a year ago. He's had a year to plan that shot. See, if you want to say, well, that's just one kind of ammo, what does that say? 0 drop at 200 yards. 200 yards, there's 0 drop with a 30-06. Well, then you'd say, well, if that's the case, then how come, you know, was he aiming at his neck, or why didn't he hit his target? There's a lot of theories behind that, whether he hit a piece of body armor or not. I've seen a lot of videos saying that he had body armor on. I don't know. That seems possible. But also, you know, he was at an angle. So he could have not thought through the fact that he was at an angle and that his shot might be slightly off because of that angle. But all right, so we want to talk about body armor. Let's look at some body armor. So lucky for y'all, you watch a channel that the guy owns a gun store. So I have a lot of this stuff at my disposal, all right? So first video I saw, and if Charlie was wearing body armor, the most possible thing is that he was wearing a metal plate because of how, I mean, like he didn't have a big bulge underneath his shirt. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. This right here, this is a level 3A plate. You see that? It's very thin, and this is a composite plate. This is not steel. So this composite plate is a level 3A. This is Maverick Body Armor, good Christian guys, local here in North Carolina. But anyway, so a level 3A will stop up to a 44 Magnum. Now, this wouldn't have helped him at all when it came to a 30-06. If he had got hit, if he was wearing body armor and he got hit wearing this plate, it'd zip right through it like it wasn't nothing. So there wouldn't have been any ricochet coming off because it would have just zipped right through it. So what is the benefit of a steel plate? Well, look how thin this is. So this steel plate is even thinner than this level 3A plate. And this plate right here is a level 3. So a level 3 will stop, you know, it'll stop a 5.56. It probably, I mean, I don't know if it would have stopped the 30-06, but it had a whole lot better chance than if he was wearing that composite plate. Now, all the videos I saw were saying this is the kind of plate he was wearing, which would make sense because this kind of plate wouldn't show up underneath a t-shirt as bad as a different kind of plate that would stop a rifle round. What am I talking about? Well, let me show you. This plate right here is a level 3 plus. So this level 3 plus will stop rifle rounds also. But look at how thick this thing is. And these right here, these particular plates are very expensive. This plate right here is $300. This plate is so expensive because it is light. It's made out of composite and it's light. It's level 3A, will stop 5.56 rounds. Would have stopped a 30-06. I've seen these things stop things they're not supposed to stop. Would have definitely slowed it down, but it probably would not have stopped a 30-06. Now this plate right here in my left hand, this is a level 4 plate. Now this plate will stop a 30-06, but look how thick it is. Look how thick this thing is compared to the steel plate. Now, if he had been wearing one of these under his shirt, you'd have been able to see it for sure. There'd have been no doubt whatsoever that he had one of these plates on. But this one, maybe not so much. And I'm sure he didn't want it to be obvious that he was wearing body armor. So if he was wearing a plate, he was probably wearing one of these plates. Now, what is the good thing about these? So these ceramic plates, when a rifle round hits it, the ceramic breaks and it'll break up the bullet and it distributes the shot. It'll distribute the bullet into pieces. It's got Kevlar in there that'll catch it. I'm sure y'all have all saw videos on how armor, like plates, I'm sure you know how they work. Most of you do anyway. These things here, you can get hit with a round. It'll disperse it. It'll catch it. You don't have to worry about spall, you know, it breaking up and it shooting upwards into your face or your neck or whatever. These kind of plates you do have to worry about because, like in the videos that I watch, suggest that the bullet ricocheted off and hit him in the neck. That is possible with a metal plate. It is possible, and that's why you have to get one of these. This is a protector. This thing's made out of Kevlar, and it's a spall guard. It's made out of Kevlar. You put your plate up inside of this, and then that way, when something hits it, theoretically, when the bullet explodes, this Kevlar here will catch the pieces. Did he have one of these? Did he have one of these Kevlar spall guards over top of his metal plates? Didn't look like it. I mean, from the videos that I saw, it looked like there was a straight up outline of a metal plate. But would it have caught a 30-06? Probably not. I mean, honestly, it might have changed its direction or slowed it down some. 30-06 is a heck of a round, man. It ain't no joke. The second that I heard another gun tuber say the same thing. He said, the second I heard that round, I told the guy next to me, man, that was a hunting round. That was a 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 30-06. That's the first thing I said too when I heard that shot. I said, man, that's a hunting rifle. I said, that was a hunting round. I said, it was probably, and I promise I said it was probably a 30-06 or a 270 or somewhere around that caliber. I said, I don't think it was a 300 Win Mag because it would have done a lot more damage than what it did. So I was not surprised at all when they said it was a 30-06. But I mean, you know, all this stuff, I mean, it's a major tragedy. If he had been wearing a different type of body armor, if he was wearing body armor, if he had been wearing a different type and it hit the body armor, would it have saved his life? It's possible. It's possible if it hit him in the body armor. But if that shot went straight to his neck, you know, there ain't no saving you from that. But, you know, everybody wants to talk about his shirt blowing up. They're like, well, his shirt blew up. The video I watched, they said his shirt blew up, and that was the round hitting the body armor and then ricocheting, and that's what made the shirt blow up, you know, like this. When a rifle round like that hits, especially if it's a hunting round, when something like that hits, there's so much force. I mean, it does crazy things. You look at people in videos shooting a water jug or a 2-liter, 3-liter bottle. It makes it a big explosion, especially if it's a hunting round that's got like an AccuTip or something like that on it. When it hits, that tip automatically explodes. I mean, you know, I don't know what happened. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But either way, I think all of this is very possible the way they described it. The guy could have easily put the gun down the back of his pants. If Charlie Kirk was wearing body armor and it was metal body armor, it could have ricocheted off and hit him in the neck. That's possible. You know, either way, no matter what, it's just a terrible tragedy. I mean, it was an assassination. It's an awful, awful thing. And my prayers go out to his family. I definitely don't want to do anything to, I don't know. I don't want to do anything to disgrace his memory or cause anybody any pain. I'm just kind of trying to help people understand it a little bit. So let's take a look at what one of these look like. That is a 30-06. That's a big round. That's a big hunting round. That's what they used to use in World War II. Think about that. In World War II, people were getting shot with these all over the place. They had machine guns shooting these things. Crazy. Let me give you another round to compare it to. So this is a 5.56 compared to a 30-06. You know, everybody talks about how big and bad of a round the 5.56 is. Now, this is what they shot in World War II. This is what they shot in Afghanistan and all these other wars. Man, what a terrible terrible war. Think about that. Them shooting these guns right, shot these bullets, people getting hit with them left and right. I mean, just arms and legs and blood and guts everywhere. Thank God that I didn't have to go through that. But anyway, that's going to be it for me for now. Got a couple other videos planned out that are going to be pretty good. So stay tuned. My prayers go out to Charlie's family. You know, I don't doubt that the man was saved. He was a Christian, and thank God for that. But regardless, terrible, terrible thing. But that's going to be it for me for now. And until next time, keep on keeping on, and have you good.